My name is Mike Sims. I'm the recycling coordinator for the college campus. And I'm basically the waste management specialist for main campus and then most of our outlying campuses. Most of the things that we're going to talk about and discuss this evening relate to main campus. All of our campus locations do some type of recycling. Some of them, like the smaller campuses, those are provided by the waste hauler, like say it's Florence. Folks pick up their trash, also pick up their recycling, so they have their own internal system. So every campus does this, but the numbers I'm going to talk to you about tonight and our percentages have to relate mainly to main campus, which produces most of the trash. I think last year the college produced about 300 tons of trash, pure trash. There we go. 314 tons of pure trash. That's material that went to the landfill. And I can kind of explain the profile of what that looked like a little bit later on. And we reused or recycled about 485 tons. So we had a recycling rate of just over 60%. And that's been pretty consistent for the past couple years. We haven't been able to expand our operations in the way that we have the demand for, and we're working toward that. There's a lot more demand. We could be achieving recycling rates of 80% or better on this campus if we just had a few chips fall our way and we can get a few resources we need. And if the Department of Environmental Quality will change some of the rules we're still working on. So before I get started, I was going to kind of walk you guys around to show you our operation, kind of what we do, how we do it, and how much of it we're doing. I'd hope that all of you would ask any questions that you can. If you're curious of why we don't do something here, please ask me, like, why don't we recycle this? Hopefully I can give you an answer that makes sense. You may not like it, but it might just be the reality. And I know Tammy's been talking to you guys a lot about sustainability, and a lot of you are involved in the energy management program. And this is something that I learned a lot working here. I've been here about 5 years. Working in a large institution to try to affect change is a real challenge. There are a lot of roadblocks that get thrown up in your way, and a lot of institutional ways of doing business that have to be shifted or altered, and we're working on that. That's probably been my greatest learning point of working here, is learning how to deal with the variety of players who have an idea of how something should or shouldn't or can or can't be done. And to convince them that what you're trying to do is the right thing. So it's been a big education for me, and I know that if some of you may already have that experience, if you don't now, you'll get it. And it's being a change agent, being in recycling, energy management, anything where you're trying to affect, requires those skills. We have a hazardous materials building. It's up near those little modular buildings up there on the side of the hill, brick cinder block building, and we capture all of the hazardous material that comes out of a lot of the science labs, chemistry departments, as well as the industrial hazardous materials that the college produces just by virtue of its operation. We can handle all that. Any more questions before we get started? I was just going to walk you guys around, and you may or may not know some things. So right over here, we can kind of walk through. That's our paper area right over here. And paper is one of our main revenue streams. We actually sell all of our paper directly to Weyerhaeuser. We then take it to their mills, and then gets milled back into paper. Last year, that accounted for around $5,000 of our revenue. And the program, with its 60% recycling rate last year, we either made in revenue or saved in cost avoidance over $60,000 this last year, just by selling our material and keeping material out of the trash. Next year it's going to be even more because they raised landfill rates this past year. They went from $46 a ton to So we can definitely mine that. So all of our paper is sorted in here. We hire or in contract with a group of folks called Specialized Support Services, and they employ developmentally disabled adults to help us with some of these tasks. And they do all of our paper sorting. We sort into 4 major grades that most paper mills take.
They pay different tonnage per
They pay a different amount per ton according to the quality of paper. And the great thing about a college is we produce a whole lot of super duper high quality paper called white ledger paper. It's usually paper like this that's only printed on one side and it's real white. And this is super high quality paper. If we were able to bale this material, which we're working toward, which is compacting it, we could get about $400 a ton, for white ledger. And then we go down different grades called office pack, which is kind of a mix. And then there's office pack 2, which is even more of a mix, and there's low grade paper.
Not all the paper
Yeah. Yes. Right, so the paper is actually physically sorted. Yeah, it comes in, we have big 55-gallon drums kind of scattered throughout campus and some other receptacles. That all gets brought here. It's all hand trucked here by some folks and, dumped out on the table, and we have people that, go through it and they sort the white and the colored and this, and, some, of course, there's always trash, but this in trash, and trash paper, there's Kleenex and paper cups, they're not recyclable, that kind of thing. So that's the major operation in that right over there. You can stroll over. You guys can just stroll over that way, and if you have questions, we can kind of do that. It's a big old group.